Hey everybody, I'm going to do an unboxing video of the new Epic products. We've got Duels, Guardians of Guana, formerly Jungle, the Four Lost Tribes set, and then this Kickstarter promo pack here. So let's start things out here with the Wild set from Lost Tribe. Unlike some of the previous packs, these come sorted by faction, so all of the cards in here will be wild. So yeah, so here we go. We got Aftershock, and I'll just give a second to kind of look over each of these, just give you a chance to see them all. These are health counters, I guess, of some kind. And then we've got new double-sided tokens. So I assume those tokens will be the same in all of these packs. Actually, I assume half of these will have the soldier demon ones as well. So we'll move on to the sage here. And if we sneak to the back, looks like the sage has the zombie and wolf ones as well. More of these life counters. Apparently that was a complaint for some people about the Epic base set not including those. I mean, honestly, I think it's much easier to just keep track of these things on your phone or even pencil and paper than to fuss about with these kind of things. But because Star Realms had them, I guess that was a thing that people wanted. So there they are. All right, let's see what else we got here. Now, if you're not familiar with Epic, it is a CCG, unlike Star Realms, more akin to, Magic or Pokemon or Harry Potter or any of these other things. But it follows that living card game model where, there's no randomness in these packs. We're not going to get all excited about some amazing pull here or anything like that. These are set rarity, and every pack will have the exact same cards in it. So this grudge ability is kind of a new keyword, sort of the opposite of tribute. Tribute is when it comes into play ability. Grudge is when it leaves play. So kind of some delayed gratification there, but it lets them do more powerful effects that way, I guess. So all right, so as I said, I'm predicting that the good and evil packs will contain new double-sided soldier and wolf tokens. So peek back there as well. Yeah, human tokens, I guess I should say, not soldier tokens, but yep. So sort of jungle-themed human and demon tokens there. So here's the good faction. Yeah, there's definitely some interesting stuff in here. I'm sort of withholding commentary, I guess, just because I think sometimes it's easy to overlook things or to undervalue or overvalue things upon first blush. So if there's interest, I can certainly give a more thorough review of these once I've had more of a chance to digest them. But for a lot of these, other than cards that were already previewed, like I think this Calamity card was shown on the Kickstarter page, it's I haven't had a lot of time to see them. I'm seeing them for the first time, just like maybe some of you. So, yeah, and like we said, here's our human and demon tokens again, as well as those themed life counter things. If you're not clear, I guess the idea here is you do something like this, sort of cover them up. I don't know. Have I can't even figure that out. Yeah, so you cover up part of it. I have 39, 38, I guess, something to this effect. Seems really susceptible to getting bumped and stuff, but there you go. All right, so go through these as well. All right, so that's the Lost Tribe set. They seem like there's some interesting new abilities going on for sure. Always nice to have new token art and things like that. I am going to go ahead and open this Kickstarter promo pack as well. My understanding is that this is going to contain 10 cards, which are, I guess, not tournament legal for what that's worth, though tournaments haven't been a thing in quite some time. But yeah, I think there's 3 evil cards, 3 wild cards, that's the green ones, and then only 2 of the yellow and blue, which are sage and good. There were stretch goals to have a complete set of 12, right, that weren't reached, where there would have been another blue card and another yellow card. Though interestingly, in the storage box, they've included the 2 stretch goal promos in there, along with another set of essentially 12 new cards as well. So I don't have those in hand yet. I could potentially preview those later if there's interest. But it was interesting to note that they basically lifted the 2 that were going to be stretch goals here and just put them into the next set of promos, essentially. All right, so, yep. Yeah, that's kind of groovy. That's potentially a draw 3 if you've got the recycles to spare. This one has the the ability that some wild cards have of revealing the top card of, in this case, it's an opponent's deck specifically, not necessarily yours. Either play it or banish it. So if you can kind of get a free 0 cost this way and then tack a recycle onto it if you're lucky, or maybe play a useful 1 cost, though it's pretty random in that regard. So change of heart, which it's a draw 2, so it can't be that bad, and then it has potential to give yourself righteous later. Minor upgrade to a simple draw 2, but could certainly be useful. There is a draw 2 that just gives you 4 health gain immediately, which is essentially what Righteous does. It does health gain based on the damage that a champion is doing. So it could certainly be more, could also be less, and it requires you to spend your gold in order to trigger this. and have that be spent on a yellow good card. So, could be better, could be worse. Seems about priced right. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. There's a lot going on here that's sort of subtle about this. Not allowing a champion to attack or use powers, but this being an event means it could already be in the midst of attacking. In fact, you could prepare a champion that you've already attacked with, then give it unbreakable, attack with I guess you couldn't prepare it and then attack with it again. So either prepare it after the fact of attacking or give it unbreakable after you've already attacked with it, but then it can't use any of its powers that turn. And it's got to recycle. Any 0 cost with a recycle is going to be certainly worth picking up in draft, and maybe even constructed playable as well, for sure. So yeah, this is kind of cool. It yeah, just to draw 2 and return something. No restriction on whether it's a 0 cost or 1 cost, so that could certainly be useful. This is kind of a mini demonic rising here, a draw 2, or instead of breaking all champions and putting demons with blitz in play, you just pick 2 to do that too. So, like I said, kind of a mini version of an existing card. Sometimes better, sometimes worse, certainly. Yeah, this is kind of cool. 10 damage to a champion, despite having to discard another card and lose 5 health to do so on a 0 cost is pretty useful to keep your gold still intact. So I think that seems pretty appealing. Yep, getting wolf tokens. Go with those wolf theme decks. Yeah, this is kind of cool. This is similar to some of those tribute cards. So when they come into play, essentially they'll deal damage to other champions. This one restricts it to an attacking or blocking champion, and it's only 7 damage. But on the other hand, this is ambush, so this could certainly be a blowout in the right context. And yeah, so this is an interesting card as well. While in Epic, you generally want to attack with 1 champion at a time, since you get unlimited attack phases, essentially. This is the kind of card that could incentivize you to attack with a bunch at once. It's sometimes a reasonable idea when you have champions with breakthrough anyway to attack with them together, but this certainly incentivizes you to do that as well. So that's the promos and the Lost Tribe stuff. I'll open Guardians now. This was previously titled Jungle. I'm not sure why they made that change or if they announced the change, but it is still jungle themed, certainly. So this is designed as kind of a 2-player starter, so this would be a fine place to start your Epic collection as well, and it comes in a nicer box. They give you some +1/+1 counters as well. That's something that's often we just use dice for, so that's useful as well. And then there are these markers here, which seem to represent a sun and a moon. Not totally sure what that's about. Maybe that's for your gold. That's probably what it is, just to represent whether or not you've spent your gold for the turn. And this banner here as well. I'll have to read through and see if it gives any rationale for that. But yeah, the gold tokens, the counters, as well as these nice little player aids, I think are pretty cool. Knowing what some of the keywords are. It would actually be nice if they had included all of the keywords on here, though maybe it wouldn't fit as well. But this is a really nice player aid if you're not as familiar with the game. So looks like the tokens in here that are included are the same ones as in the Lost Tribe packs. So these open with a tab like this, so you don't necessarily need a knife to open them. open the shrink wrap there. Yeah, more of these guys. Boatloads of tokens here. Wow. Okay, that is a ton of tokens. I guess, you know, all you could ever want there. And then this just appears to be some of the actual cards. So I'll open this other pack. We'll see what we got here. So they are sorted by color as well, and I think it should be 15 of each. Yeah, so the idea here is you can, you know, just pick two of the factions and pop them together, and you've got reasonable starter decks, I suppose. And they give you this nice rule book here as well. So, yeah, so we'll go through these real quick. Start with Wild. So. Frenzy is another new keyword. You might have seen it on some of those other cards already, but basically you get that effect if an opponent has more cards in hand than you, which I think is a good idea for an effect, to be honest. A lot of the time, games of Epic can sort of be a foregone conclusion based on board state and cards in hand. Players are relatively even in health, but and relatively even in board state. You know, the amount of champions that they have out there, but one is has significantly more cards than the other player. The game is often all but over at that point. So this gives a bit of a catch-up mechanism, I guess you could say, for those situations. Remains to be seen how well that'll work, and that's the art on the cover. But I think it's a reasonable approach to take to kind of push things in that direction. Yeah, and I realize I probably started going through these a little more slowly at the start. As I think about it, I suppose if you want to read through these more carefully, you have a pause button to do that. And like I said, since I'm not really giving much commentary on them, just sort of taking them in myself, maybe I'll even rewatch this back myself to kind of look through them. You know, I don't have a ton to say about how good these are, or even how interesting they are, without taking them in further. But okay, so that's all of those. Lastly, there's this Epic Duels set, not to be confused with Star Wars Epic Duels or any of the other epic dueling games that are no doubt out there. But I imagine we'll see something pretty similar here. We've got a quick start guide along with a rule book. So again, this is definitely very beginner focused. This is kind of telling you exactly what to do. It looks like the idea is you don't even shuffle these decks, and you can just play out kind of a sample game with these before you go ahead and shuffle them out. And again, we've got what I assume is, you know, gold tokens there. This actually might be what I was asking for as far as keywords go. Yeah, it absolutely is. So that's nice. It gives you the same game turn walkthrough, but has some player aids here as well for if you're not as familiar with the terminology and things like that. So that's nice. Yep. Oh, yep. And look at that. See the quick start guide before unwrapping. They don't want you to shuffle these up, so you can play out an actual game here. So this, I assume, is just tokens, but maybe it has some other cards as well. Yeah, just boatloads of tokens. This as well as the life counters. This token art has existed already. So these are not new token art, unlike the jungle ones. So I am going to go ahead and unwrap these. Played probably far too much Epic in my time. I don't need to walk through a sample game or anything like that. This is nice that it actually gives you, should you want to go through this though, or you accidentally shuffled, the exact order that these cards are supposed to be in, as well as the deck list. So these are not particularly new and exciting, because if you play the free Epic app, which you definitely should, it gives you every single card for free digitally. These cards, I believe, are all in there already. So we've been seeing with and playing with these for quite some time. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, for now, I'm going to leave it at that. And thanks for watching. And yeah, if you're interested in more content like this, let me know. And, you know, I can certainly do some card reviews or things like that. Thanks.